Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro friends. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most contentious issues that particularly cafe owners have when they open a cafe. And that is to Yelp or not to Yelp. I get asked this a lot from clients. Should I or shouldn't I read my Yelp reviews? And I think this is one of those subjects that require some self-assessment first. When we look at platforms like Yelp, at platforms like Google Reviews and Zomato and things like that, there are a ton out there. Who are they for? They're not for you primarily. They're for the end user of Yelp, but they are for you. If they didn't exist, it would be more difficult for people to find you. So a primary purpose of having these platforms is to bring you more business. That's one really great positive aspect of these platforms. And so take that, own that, and be grateful for it because it's a really good thing. There are other positive things to that. It gives people the opportunity to see a curated experience, let's just put it that way, from other people who either have not, or pretend to have come to your establishment or brand or however you want to say it. And look, we're going to dig into whether Yelp is one of those things that we should be paying attention to or not in a second. But before you do that, think about how you respond to these kinds of things before you consider whether you should go into it or not. Because look, I've seen there are some people who open cafes that are glued to their Yelp, the people who respond to them on Yelp. And there are others that just don't give any shits about Yelp and aren't having a look at what's being spoken about them on these platforms. And I don't know that that's quite the right way to go about things either. But, okay, so if you're somebody who gets very reactive to people, the way that people respond on these kinds of platforms, you should own that before you start looking into them. The kinds of people that frequent, the reason I'm laughing is I want you to go and have a look at the meme that was posted on our Instagram today. It's along the lines of like when foodies consider themselves Yelp elites. It's like, what the fuck makes someone a foodie these days? What makes them a critic? What makes them an elite? It's like all of these things are so subjective now. And this is where having things like brand values and a mission statement and a buying philosophy and all of that kind of stuff keeps you more accountable and should continue to keep you more accountable than what a Yelp review does. But here's another positive about Yelp and platforms like Yelp. They at least give you a look into how you're being spoken about. Now, if you're someone who doesn't spend a lot of time in the business that you own, it will give you an insight into the way that customers are experiencing your business, but I want to also remind you that not everyone that comments on Yelp is actually somebody that visits your business. Some of the time, they will be your competitors. They will be people who are trying to troll your business. They will be people who may be disgruntled employees from before. So just that is a caveat to all of this. And it won't be everybody, but it may be some people. Okay, so having that as a caveat and keeping that aside, a great thing that Yelp does is it helps you understand how Your business is being perceived by the general public, and this is a valuable tool. If people are saying things about your business that are favorable, you want that to keep going. You're proud of your staff, especially if you're not there all the time, and you want to celebrate that. But if you're hearing reviews and people are constantly saying things like, I really like the stuff that they sell there, but nobody's friendly, that's a really great indicator in a way that you may be able to perhaps improve customer service. Take everything with a grain of salt. And again, remember and assess the way that you view these things. If you're somebody, again, as we said, who just takes everything super personal and is glued to these things because you just want to see how you're being spoken about, first of all, check your ego. Even if it's a self-deprecating way, that's still ego. You should be checking these things if you decide to check them. You should be checking them as a way to see how you're being viewed. It's not, and it never will be, an accurate survey of what is actually going on. But remember, other customers do use Yelp. So you do want favorable reviews on Yelp. And this is what's going to lead me to the next thing. Should you or shouldn't you respond to comments on Yelp? This is fascinating to me. I have seen, this is one way I choose whether to work with a client or not, if I'm honest. And I'm not taking on any clients at the moment, but when I was, cafe owners would ask me to help them shift the direction of a cafe or work different things out with regards to their staffing platforms. Now, if a cafe owner is the kind of person who's combative with Yelp commenters or Yelp reviewers or Yelp elitists or whatever the fuck you want to call them, I tend to not work with them. And the reason is that I find that people who are this insistent on being combative with what people have to say about their businesses are never going to be open to feedback. If you are going to comment on Yelp reviews, please, for the love of fuck, please be open-hearted, open-minded, and receive the feedback with a sense of grace. So the way you should be responding to Yelp reviews is, and this isn't all Yelp reviews. Some Yelp reviews are trolling. Yelp reviews that are trolling, love up on them as much as you can. Or leave some sort of just an emoji. Okay, never feed the trolls with shit talk. It never works. Feed them with love, and that will reflect to other people who read those comments. But on the comments that say things like, you weren't friendly, or I didn't like the way that they make a cappuccino, or their macchiatos are too small compared to Starbucks. So those are the kinds of things where what I would encourage you to do is to instead resist the urge to over-explain yourself. Make your responses 1 or 2 sentences, and that's it. Don't get combative, and say things like, we really appreciate the feedback. Our macchiatos are in alignment with specialty coffee standards. We hope you'll come back and let us help you have a better experience next time. It's positive, it's encouraging, it's welcoming, and it doesn't leave the customer with a bad taste in their mouth. And that's what you want to ensure, that you don't use Yelp as a way to tell people to go get fucked. That's a very Aussie term. Get fucked. But It shouldn't be something that you use to get combative with customers. It should be an extension of your values and of your mission statement and of your customer experience. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please comment on this video, either here or on our socials. And if need be, you can always email me, lee@mapitforward.org. If you are interested in the workshop that's coming this weekend, head to mapitforward.org/events. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited about this. And let's help you map a successful 10-year career as a coffee professional. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.